Hey everybody, Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes here to talk about a new American-made mod that we just got in, the Kindred 2 by Council of Vapors. The Kindred 2 comes in full copper or copper wrapped in stainless steel. Both of these hit pretty hard. Obviously, a full copper mod is going to hit harder than a copper mod wrapped in stainless steel, but the difference is so negligible that you're not really going to notice unless you're just sitting there crunching numbers super hard. Really like both of these mods. I like the stainless because it's not going to get scratched up as much as the copper, and it still looks sleek. Got a little Zorro on here. The mod is 22 millimeters. My RDA is 22 millimeters. Sits flush, nice, looks clean, very well made. Locking ring on this thing is buttery smooth, super smooth, very satisfying. And when you have it unlocked, it sits so flush that when I first opened this thing out of a package, I didn't even know it had a locking ring until I was just tightening it down, and I was like, oh man. Because when it's locked, or when it's unlocked, it sits so flush, the crease is just gone. Really like that. Once you have everything set up inside, almost everything on this sits flush. It looks like a single tube with barely any noticeable creases, crevices, or whatever. Inside these bad boys, we have a floating pin. The floating pin is silver plated copper, so you've got very little voltage drop. The top firing pins and the bottom firing pin are both silver plated copper. The button is magnetic. There's no spring inside. That's a flavor build that I got in my Zorro, and this thing is killing it, hitting extremely hard. The cool thing about the stainless steel is, after an extended use, when my RDA gets hot, it's not pushing all that heat down into the button and the handle. It's not uncomfortable to hold. I don't feel any warmth right now in the body. RDA, pretty hot, pretty warm. Body, room temperature, body temperature, just the temperature from holding it. Hits mean. That's what matters. So whether you're a cloud chaser and you're trying to do your little competitions for your cloud chasing competitions, or you're just somebody who wants a little bit more with your vaping experience and you're just a flavor chaser like I am, this thing's gonna do it for you. Council of Vapors has not disappointed me, and they definitely have not disappointed me with this mod. I really like it. It's definitely it's up there in price. It's a mid-range device, but you're getting an improvement over these cheaper authentics that are coming out, the Phantom and etc. All these cheap lower-end authentic mods. This blows them out of the water. Definitely does. Nothing negative to say about this mod. I love the locking ring. I've been using a lot of mods and devices lately, and I've been seeing a lot of newer mods coming out. Don't have locking rings anymore. They just use strong magnets. I miss the locking rings. I really like it. I keep my devices in a vape sock on my hip, and when I sit down in my car, sometimes they get behind you, and you sit your weight down, and you're like, is there a campfire in my car or something like that? And then you sit down and you're like, oh no, you pull out your mod out your pocket and you're looking, your cotton's black, it's smoldered, your coils are ruined, your device is hot, you don't know if your battery's worth a crap anymore because you just sat there and you fired that thing dry. Very dangerous. Really am glad to see locking rings are coming back. Big deal to me. 'Cause I'm a 200+ pound guy. I don't care what magnet you put in your device. If I sit on that thing, it is going to fire. Lock this bad boy. No firing. Really dig that. Floating pins, so if you've got a battery that's been flattened a little bit, don't use that battery. But if you did, you can adjust the pin to make it fit better. No matter the length of the 510 on your RDA, it's going to fit in here because obviously there's that floating pin you can adjust in there. Silver plated copper, remember that. Really works with almost all RDAs. It does have a floating pin, so it is able to be used with sub-tanks. You cannot do that with hybrid mods, which this is not a hybrid mod, so not to be redundant, but you can use a sub-tank with this, and that is a plus. definitely gets a pass with me. Looks great with everything. I did say it is 22 millimeters in length. If you want to match it with a nice RDA that is also 22 millimeters and gets that nice flush look, copper. Another cool thing I like is if you have an RDA that is, stainless, aluminum, silver, or whatever, rhodium, if it has any kind of like copper accents on it, it's going to match very nicely with the small copper accents down here in the locking ring. And if I can, top cap's being difficult. And that nice copper right there. Really like this design. Not sure on the physics of everything, but I did see that, this design on here helps mitigate voltage drop. Do not know the mathematics. It could just be blowing smoke at me or blowing vapor at me, haha. But really dig it. This thing is hitting extremely hard. I've pushed its limits today. I put a dangerous build, a 0.03 on there, up to I built a 0.5 ohm build, and everything worked fine. No hot button, nothing melted inside. I didn't get hurt or anything like that. Really like it. Nothing bad to say about these mods, really, except, hybrids are more convenient than floating pins. But floating pins do have pros and cons over hybrids. With that being said, I'm Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes. If you have any questions, comments, you want to chat with us, you want to ask us something about this mod, ask us something about another product, don't be afraid to shoot us an email or leave a comment or question below. Thanks for vaping.